Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm Duran.
and this is Before We Forget. So, Duran,
Yep.
before we forget, age old question that I feel like you get mixed answers every time. As a man, would you rather be loved or respected?
You gotta respect me. Now I remember my subject. You gotta respect me because in this day and age, people don't have that respect factor. When you come up and talk to somebody and you say something, you talk real loose or you talk out of pocket and you don't realize who you're talking to. You just start blah and just like throw up at the mouth. And as a man in the world, I don't expect uh for a woman to come up and just say something out of pocket to me because that's not what you would do if your dad was there. Would you go up and disrespect your father?
Well, let's break this down into two categories, right? Let's talk about we're gonna break it down into love, like as far as like your relationship with your spouse, and then we're going to talk about your relationship with everybody else in the world. All right, so when we looking at everybody outside of your home, are you preferring to be loved or respected by them?
Well, by my friends and my peers, I expect both because you my peer. That's the role of a friend or the role of somebody that's cool with you.
But
Is
which
that
is more important?
it's a for that topic right there. That's for that situation. They go hand in hand because if you gonna respect me for what I do and the person that I am, and then I want you to love me for the things that I do and what I bring to the friendship. Now, why I dumbed it down to that is because y- you can lose friends and gain friends, right?
Right.
But if you in a relationship with somebody, especially if you married, I don't care if you love me, but I want you to respect me because if you respect me, it's gonna make you go to the caliber where you have to love me anyway. So
Mm.
whether you show me that you love me is different than if you show me that you respect me because if you respect me, you respect my authority, you respect my decision making, you respect that I need this or that I'm doing this or that. And it's gonna in turn make you do something. It's like a responsive thing, it's reactive. So love is an action word, but respect is a reactive thing.
Hmm.
And that's how I look at that. And that's the real spiel. I don't want to be with nobody that love me, but you don't respect me because you can love me and still break my heart.
That is true.
You can tell me you love me right now. Why don't when I leave and go out the door, when I get in the car, whatever, and that's it. You just telling me you love me, but when you respect me, it's different because it hit different when you a man. I feel like women need the love. They deal with emotions a lot. Men don't really do all that. And I can't speak for every man, but a majority of the men are what I've come to understand being a man, a grown man myself, is that I really do prefer to respect over love. And it's not saying I'm not being emotional or vulnerable or open. It's just saying that talk to me nice. You know, that's the kids say. I say that all the time. If you're a young adult or you a child, teenager, don't come talk to me crazy because that's where I'm gonna have to stop you and correct you. And as an adult, we adults. So what do adults do? If I come, I have a problem, I'm gonna talk to you like a grown up. I'm not gonna disrespect you
Right.
because that's disrespectful. But when we get there, we can get gangster. But before, I try to keep it G with you. Do that same thing to me because I that's just me. I deal with the respect. Now for the homies, the love and respect is a tandem thing. Cause yeah, but in relationship wise, I would definitely 100% prefer you respect me. You ain't gotta love me.
So, looking at outside of my household, um, it's gonna be respect every single moment, every single moment. Um, while love and appreciation is one thing, respect I feel like says a lot more. That says even if we don't get along, even if you don't like me, you can hate every fiber on my head, right? But there's a certain level of respect that I expect from everyone. And honestly, it's a certain level of respect that I command when I walk into a room. Um, and that's not saying like I'm the so-called alpha male or this or that, because I don't try to exert like dominance over anything. Like everybody who knows me knows I'm chill, but
Right.
you also not gonna talk to me crazy.
Right,
You
because
also, yeah,
you're a reputable man, and you
yeah,
know what you bring, you know who you are and what you stand on. So
right.
you
I'm comfortable with who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I don't know. Like, and you're not gonna talk to me like I'm a kid out here with everything that I've been through and everything that I've worked for and everything that I've gained, right? So um there's a certain level of respect that I command. And that's from anybody that I meet. And if you step outside of those boundaries, then
now I'm gonna step to you.
right, it's a different story. You're gonna get a different level of like I'm gonna talk to you different. And once you step outside those boundaries, I'm gonna act different towards you once you step outside those boundaries. Now, when it comes to inside my home, that's a little harder, and it's always a little harder, right?
Right.
The answer is simple, but explaining the answer is what makes it harder. The answer is always going to be respect, because when you respect me, you will like love comes with the respect.
Right, which is what I was saying. It might be hard to understand that for some people, but if I respect you, I'm gonna do stuff out of the respect for you, which in turn is gonna show love because it's like I'm showing you I respect you, and now it's become a love thing. Like this is because I respect you. I'm gonna respect the fact that you don't like X, Y, and Z, so I did X, Y, and Z, or I saw something that you probably didn't like, and I switched it so that you could be happy.
Yeah,
So now it's an action thing. So now the love is followed up behind the respect. It's always gonna move in the order it needs to. If you love me, you could love me and not respect me.
love is fickle, in my opinion.
But I love you and then turn around and cuss me out.
Yeah,
So you don't respect me because you cuss me out knowing who I am and what I do.
right. And then when you have kids in that mix, that takes it up another notch, because then when your kids see your spouse disrespecting you, they think it's okay to do the same thing. And I'm not saying I'm like a dictator running my house like that. Anybody, like I say, anybody who knows me, knows my wife, knows anybody knows that um like I'm not disrespectful, I'm not power hungry, I'm not trying to rule with an iron thumb or fist or whatever. But there's a level of respect that must be maintained. And when it comes down to if I would rather be loved or respected, I'm always gonna say I'd rather be respected.
Every time. It's never gonna switch for me, never. And I ain't making that disclaimer. You a better man than me. Cause I don't have to explain that. I don't if I was on that tip, what I'm on is what I'm on. That's what's going for me. But I'm not on that tip because that shows immaturity if you looking at it like, man ain't gonna tell me what to do or they ain't gonna think this and this, that, and the third. It's not about that. It's about the respect factor. I respect you, you respect me. I respect you enough not to say harsh things to you. I respect you enough to
Yeah,
take in consideration what you want to eat today.
yeah.
I respect you enough to, you know what, today man hard. Let me go in there and do all this stuff that you would do for you. That's a respect thing. That's not love. Love is like you said, it's a fickle thing. It's a real thin line between love and hate. Cause you could love somebody and despise them. Like legitimately hate them.
Yeah.
But if you respect me, it'll never get there. Cause you like, you know what? I didn't like what was said to me, but at the end of the day, so and so treat me well. They never call me on my name. They always nice to me. They always think about me, and I see it. And
And
so you return that.
you gotta think of it, because respect comes in a lot of forms for a man. Like let's when we look at the full aspect, how you talk to me, how you treat me, all of that, whether in the household or outside the household, is a respect thing. But it's different in the household because there's other factors to it, right? Like if I'm coming home and I done work 15 hours today, and I get here and you're like, can you go get us some food? And you done had the day off and you ain't did nothing like that. That shows a little bit of a lot of a lack of respect, because I done broke my back all day working, regardless whether it's physical labor, whether you sit behind the desk, whatever. You work 15 hours. This person worked no hours today, and they couldn't even make sure that when you get home, there's a hot meal. Like, that's a lack of respect, and that goes either way, right? Because if my wife worked 15 hours, I'm gonna make sure that, hey, what do you want for dinner? You don't know? Okay, let's figure this out. I'll go get it. Whatever. I'll order it. We'll figure something out. But you ain't cooking, right? We're gonna make sure dinner is good for you. We'll go out to eat. We'll do something. But then it even dives into like the deeper topics that a lot of people like to miss, like sex, like the emotional conversations where a lot of women wonder why men can't have these emotional conversations. But when they feel like there's a lack of respect, why are we going to try to open up and have these conversations with you? Right? A lack of respect won't have me telling you how I truly feel, because I don't know if I can trust you later on not to bring that back on me.
Right.
But when you show that respect to a man, then he'll open those doors for you. When we look at sex, when you're withholding sex, that's disrespectful. Whether either side of it, if the man's withholding sex, if the woman's withholding sex, they think just because I'm not cheating that you're being respectful to the relationship. That's not true. You're withholding sex, you're being disrespectful to the relationship. You're being disrespectful to your spouse.
You are. And then,
And
it go ahead.
yeah, and you can love me until the ends of the earth, but that won't do anything for me. That's not going to take care of my hungry stomach. That's not going to take care of my primal needs. Like, respect me. Let's do this together. Let's figure out what we got to do. And without that with that lack of respect, like, you can love me all you want. Respect me enough to do what's needed to help me, to take care of me the same way I'm taking care of you. Because I'm taking care of you in different ways, right? I may not, when we look at the full picture, like when you need your car fixed, or when you need the grass cut, or when you need this done or that done, you're not getting out there and having to do it. I'm doing that.
Right. But then stuff like that though turns into an expectation. And you can't have expectations if you aren't uh doing something to bring an expectation. That makes sense?
Explain.
So I can't expect you to do something for me when I don't do nothing for you. So I'm expecting a result from you, and I'm not producing results,
Yeah.
or what we refer to as fruits. If you're not producing, everybody's a tree. If we're not producing good fruits, then we call that what? A bad tree, because you're not producing fruits. You get thrown away in that world, in that situation. Nobody wants to eat spoiled fruit. So you're rotten. So you got to produce good fruits. And in order for you to do that, it's steps you got to take. Now, if you in a relationship or if you married, like I said, that's why it comes down to respecting. And as an adult, you have got to see that. But I think that gets pushed to the wayside because they put that in that category of, oh, that's how a man feel. That's how he think. And it don't matter. It's about the woman, hence the term happy wife, happy life. Now you start hearing people saying happy spouse, happy house, because they be like, "Oh, ain't no scorner or no fury like a woman." But I'm like, nah, the wrath of a man is crazy because where it comes from.
Well, and I'm glad you separated it, and you talked about husband and wife. Let's continue this later this week on the part two, because I feel like we need to continue this conversation and talk about the respect and love that men aren't showing as well. So y'all like, comment, subscribe, come back, check us out next week or later this week, and let us know what you think.
Peace.